Thanks for staying with us. One of the most horrific stories we take on this show almost every day is about either ritual killings or kidnappings. There was one that came today about a man that kidnapped a 16-year-old boy, actually. He's not yet an adult. 16-year-old boy kidnapped his niece. And let me read out what he said, his confession. He said, yes, it is true that I kidnapped Halima, my cousin. I hid her in an uncompleted building on the outskirts of town and then put a phone through to her father. I told them I demanded 70,000 naira. I threatened that if they don't pay the money, they're going to lose her. And then I terminated the call. Unfortunately, my conscience pricked me that this path I have told is dangerous and against my religion. I'm very sorry for my action. I'm asking for forgiveness. I've realized my mistakes. Hey. Now, what happened, I think, was a woman was passing by, and she saw the picture because, I mean, of course, the parents raised an alarm about this child. And the woman was just walking by an uncompleted building. She now saw, it's not the child that they're looking for. That's how she alerted the police. Now, this 16-year-old is a GSS 3 student of one of the schools in the locality. They're thinking that a teenager can kidnap a child. I mean, I can't tell you, who do we trust?
I can't even imagine it.
Who do we now leave our children with? Or a teenager is asking for 70,000 naira. God knows what he wants to use the money
for. What?
So, phone or do Valentine's or something like that.
God.
So we'll hear stories like this as long as children don't see the end result of bad behavior. You're talking of the 16-year-old. This morning, or was it late last night, my mom showed me a video of 3 or even 4-year-olds. They had kidnapped one of their siblings, a much smaller baby, and had tied him in the bushes. Tiny children, as in they could barely walk, they had done that. So we're talking about this thing. We're constantly saying it in their ears. They are hearing about it, but they need to understand that there is a consequence for this behavior. And many of them don't see that. We see people kidnapping. We hear they came into a village, they ransacked everywhere, they left with things. So all of a sudden, they're looking like heroes. Because it means I can just walk in, take what I need to take, kidnap a few
you make
people,
the front page.
Before you know it, I've made so much money. We're hearing how much billions have been going back and forth with this kidnapping thing. So I can do it then.
Absolutely.
I can do it as a business, and I can get away with it. But once they find out that you don't get away with it, they catch you, they lock you up, then you would not do it.
Mariah, this is becoming an epidemic. Like, this is becoming something that we need to start screaming about. It's not, there's something they say, if dance pass hand, enter elbow, you know, let's take this serious. This has gone beyond what we are just saying and what we're just talking about, and what we feel is not around us, is not near our dwelling. The other day I was having a conversation with my children, and I said, I'm going to take you people to Yaba Left. I want you to see what happens to people who end up taking drugs, how they live out their lives, they are hospitalized, they are not able to think properly. Some of them go crazy. And my son was so scared. He said, no, I don't want to see. I said, no, you need to see. Because it's time we start paying attention. You people are, you claim you're doing class, right? But I know that you people go on social media. I know that. So I'm not going to tell you not to. I have a teenager already in the house, so I'm not going to stay off this, stay off that, stay off that. But I want you to understand. Take responsibility for your actions. I will teach you to the best of my ability. This is right and this is wrong. It's still your choice at the end of the day. But I will show you the end of that choice. Yeah. So that if you know that you want to go crazy in this regard, you may likely end up that way. So I think, like Miriam just said, children need to start seeing the consequences. And how do we start? This is a case example. Abakari. If he goes away scot-free, without being punished, without people seeing the enormity of the punishment he's going to receive, that is it for us. So this case will be worse. A woman will now carry a friend home and kill the friend. And just move on and feel, is it not 70,000 naira? What do you need the 70,000 naira for? It may just be to buy clothes.
So just like the story you took earlier, a friend was invited over and they cut off her head and she was about that.
We become savages.
Yes. So we become animals.
So like you have both rightly said, justice is what prevents us from becoming savages. It is when justice is served that we retain sanity as a society. However, for me, it's a case of, it's not a parent's job alone. And yes, the parents have a huge responsibility. As a society, we must all be looking out for one another. And that's what even rescued this situation, because somebody saw and said, You know, that's, if you see something, say something. Must become our culture, because if we don't take responsibility for everybody around us, then it might just be us that somebody else will have to be reporting, this is what happened to the person. And at this point, young and old, let's talk. Let's engage people. This little boy, whatever the reason he wanted to spend the 70K on, he must have thought about it. He would have stewed on it, planned it in his head. And there was no interaction with anybody to sow the right ideas into his mind. The social media space is sowing. There's a lot of seeds being sown on social media of how to make money, how you can cut soap, how you can wash yourself, how you can join a group, how you can become part of a team, a clique.
But when we talk about this, but nothing is being done about it. We just talk about it like casually. You cut soap, you know, you go on social media and say, okay, how do I make money?
So my pastor said something years back. Advice is not a take it or leave it. Every advice is a seed. It's been sown. It's been sown into your spirit.
It's there.
So even if you choose not to use it now, the day you are desperate, you just remember,
they can cut soap somewhere.
This little girl that I'm seeing just running around like this, if I just put her inside the boys' quarter and make phone call, it's a seed. So what I'm saying is, as a society, we must now begin to sow the right seeds and let people know that this kidnapping is everywhere. It's not good.
The other day,
that conversation must be happening everywhere.
So now let me bring it to this angle. We know several countries have tried to regulate social media.
Yes.
Because of these kinds of things. You know, countries where, I don't know about Saudi Arabia, but I know there's a country in the Middle East that was trying to control what their people consume.
What you can
if we try that here, Alhaji Lai Mohammed will try to do that and we'll shut him down. And we'll use the same Nigerians say, leave them alone, no, leave Twitter alone, the American company, leave them alone. But you see, we are not ripe. Let me finish. The people that we have, the Nigerians that we are, we don't seem to be completely ripe for that kind of freedom. We need some kind of regulation to ensure, to reduce. So freedom of speech is free, but it's not absolute. So there has to be some kind of curtailing of this freedom that we have to social media, because people, Babalawos, everybody's on social media saying, come and take.
Mariah, that's why I agree with the scriptures, because even the scriptures had commandments. You have to obey. Salvation is free, they say, but you have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. So there must be a form of regulation. Me, I agree with what I'm seeing right now. For the sanity of our children, I agree with this social media regulation. We are not ripe, like you say. We're not in that space where we can wholly take responsibility, because our systems are not working. So if we sort out our systems, they are working. You know that when you commit a crime, you are going to be punished severely for it, to deter a lot of people. Then you can now give freedom for people who are responsible enough. Freedom comes with responsibility, but a lot of freedom comes with responsibility.
But to not to put it only on social media, because these things are real life events that are happening with real life people in real life before it comes to social media. We have to, even when it comes on social media, we have to see on social media the end of things like that. We have to see those group of boys who were making the videos and telling you what to do, how to cut soap, how to kill someone, how to cut a head, how they were arrested on social media, and how they had to serve the punishment for their bad behavior. Because yes, I understand how dangerous social media can be, but it can also be a powerful tool for, and I do not want us to just throw it away. So it is good to regulate it in a way that, you know, we protect, especially our young viewers. But we also know that it is a reality of our times. It is here to stay, and we need to use an opportunity to change
I agree with you somewhat. Because I agree with you somewhat, because I think social media has amplified what was before. So we agree. But there was ritual killing back in the day. We know all this bad vice happened back in the day. But because there was no social media, so we're saying that this amplification has gotten to the point where it's now damaging to even the most vulnerable of the society.
So I feel that, I think Mariam and I were discussing in the makeup room this morning about, or maybe it was on the show, the fact that statistically, research has been done on the psychological impact of social media, early exposure to social media on the minds of teenagers. I feel that we had the innocence of being sheltered. Like, our only influence was maybe a bit of TV and our environment. So our parents could curtail our exposure, the knowledge we are getting, because like I said, everything consumed is a seed and it will germinate. And when you are online, everything can come your way until you start pulling it down. So for children that don't even have the emotional intelligence or that ability to self-regulate to trim it down, they are unable to do so. So we need to go back and ask ourselves, should we expose teenagers to social media so fast? Maybe they should become full adults when they go online.
Teenagers are never allowed on social media. The thing shows the age that we're allowing our children on social media, even though it shows that they are not old enough to be using it.
Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning, ladies.
Morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
You're old. My comment, this is a serious issue. I hope you can hear me.
Very clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay. This is the issue. This Abba Kyari issue is a serious case. You can, tomorrow, if they catch an army officer, maybe a major, that is in charge of Boko Haram, sponsoring Boko Haram, how will Nigeria feel? This is more deeper. This case. When Africa wanted Abba Kyari, lawyers in the north, about 19, rose up to say no, it's our man. Now, this is Bubama Rua should be given highest honor in Nigeria. That man deserved it. When he was a governor in Lagos, that is the only time I slept in the house when I come to Nigeria. Otherwise, I go to hotel because the security was so tight. No armed robber in Lagos there. Bubama Rua is a class, a general. He reports directly to the president. That's why he was able to succeed. If he has been under Attorney General, there is no way we will know about this. They will kill the thing. They will kill everything like that. It's a serious issue. The whole world is watching Nigeria. It's a serious issue.
Thank you very much, Ade.
Of those supporting terrorists in our country, you will see it.
Thank you very much, Ade. You know, interesting thing about Buba Mario is that he's not going around media. You don't even hardly see him.
We had to force him. He was like writing letters.
He said, "Look, I'll just focus on my work. I'm not ready for. Let Baba Femi be talking. Me, I'm just doing my work." But let's go back to this matter. Yes,
let me quickly just conclude on what I was making point earlier. Of course, like Mariam pointed out, teenagers shouldn't be allowed on social media. Most of it is 16 and 18 and above that should be there, but we're having teenagers there and we're allowing them. So we as parents take a responsibility for that. Number two is the fact that as a society, I've always said it, we need to have a goal for our country. Yes. What is our core goal as a country? So anything that would run contrary to that, we shut it down everywhere. Quickly. You see, it is the reactionary move, seeming reactionary move of the minister that really looked like if there was a plan. The goal for this country is that we want all children to be engineers. Anything that will be contrary to it, we are not going to allow it in social media or anywhere else. When China made a move that nobody will have children, it was a bit draconic, but they knew that if they didn't control their population, they will have major crime on their hands. And so everybody born one. If you born more than one, you are in trouble. So the country needs to set goals, because a society that is not regulated is a society in chaos. Yes. And we are seeing that chaos everywhere right now.
Okay, let me take Michael. Michael, are you there? Michael, listen to me, not the TV. Are you there?
He's still watching TV.
He's watching the TV. TV is delayed. Okay, we have to go ahead.
The eye is the window to the soul. Whatever you see, as often as you see it, becomes you at the end of the day. You think you can see it and decipher. It's sowing a seed, and it goes to a place of your subconscious, which will come up tomorrow. Now, I think we all need to work together if we really want this to work. One of the problems I see is that there's a lot of illiteracy. The people that are really illiterate are the ones who go ahead, hook, line, and sinker without asking questions. So they see on TV, the people like us are able to decipher that this is entertainment, this is just a movie, this is fiction, this is not real. But they see it and, whoa, it worked this way, let me try it and it will work. And that's what a lot of these young people are picking up in killing people and kidnapping their siblings and all that, because they feel, okay, it worked in the movie, we didn't see any consequences, I can do it and go away with it. But we know better. The people that know better are few. And so the responsibility is on us that know better to start talking to ourselves. I went to a party recently and I was not really happy with the way money was sprayed. I just started thinking to myself, what are we projecting as a society? Can we put money in envelopes and just pass it?
And I think we need to go back.
No, hold on. Yes, I'm rethinking, because we keep doing the, see, if you do something over and over and it's not giving you the results you want, why don't you change it? It's not working for us.
So, please,
wait, I saw another video. Let me finish, Mariah. I saw another video in church.
I want to go back to the
and they were spraying money on the altar. Yes. And the man was kabashing and jumping up and down. I'm like, what have we turned into?
Anyhow, go and make the money.
No! See, Auntie,
Yes, that's what
if we as a society need to go back to the values that we had, some things will have to change. Some things will have to change, and we all have to work together. So we're not saying don't make your money, we're not saying don't spend your money, but don't just put it in people's faces, because not everybody can decipher that you worked for your money. Not everybody can decipher that your money is yours. Not everybody would understand that you went through a process. Not everybody will
Because you
understand
cannot be
that.
telling the story to everybody.
Yeah.
Let me take this call from Adi. Adi, are you there?
I have a convert.
Thank you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I want to contribute my own view. And the thing is that, hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. The thing is that the people, I mean Nigerians, are right for social media. But our problem is that our government, those ruling us are not right for it. You see, take any Nigerian anywhere, okay, we will mash up with everybody. But these people, they lack, I mean, we don't have a false law guiding social media, okay? We don't use our laws like other nations do, okay? If we have Nigeria, if you have USA, America as Nigeria, they will commit the same crime we are committing now because nobody is holding them accountable.
Right. Absolutely.
The system works there.
So you see, if you take somebody who commits a crime in Nigeria, or just let me take somebody who is uneducated, illiterate, who is very vulnerable to what social media is offering, carry that person to US, he will also be a criminal. He's going to do exactly the same thing because it's not so much about. Education is important, absolutely, but who you are.
I really don't think so. Because the justice system works faster there.
So he would enter this community, trust me, the community where they read and work. He's not going to enter that community because he's used to getting things for free. He will easily enter the community of those who deal in drugs because that's what he's familiar with.
But what would happen there?
But if
they get caught, they spend their life in prison. If they get caught, you see the lacuna we have here where you're very connected, you might escape justice. People, that lacuna doesn't exist there. So we need to strengthen the justice system here to reduce, and we have, like Nima shared a story yesterday of a man that spent 8 years in prison awaiting trial. And that's how innocent person spent 8 years in prison awaiting trial. Lawyers are jumping and dropping the case. We have the system that seems to make you feel bad when you're poor. We don't share the stories of our struggles.
Let me discuss that a bit with you, because even abroad, there's connection. At a higher level. We at the bottom level, we have no idea of the connection because the system is what that regulates us. But at this Bill Gates level,
there's connection.
But the
same way here,
celebrity that affect results for the child.
There are some celebrities too that don't have, those celebrities don't have that connection.
Okay, let me say this. How I see it is that there's a system that works, and if that system catches you, the system is allowed to catch you. Maybe for those who are not high level, a little they'll catch you, but the system is allowed to catch you. If it catches you, a celebrity, top person, red-handed, you cannot leave. But here, the system can catch you red-handed, fully covered in palm oil, and you can still go away scot-free. So that's the difference. And I agree with you, that when you take someone from our society and put them there, they walk through the systems. We hear a lot of people complain, oh, I have no place to stay. They have shelters. Oh, I have no job. They can go into an office to write down their names to say that they want jobs. There's a system that's sort of trying to encourage you. Most of their people who follow the way, either they are very lazy, they are on drugs, but people who are pushed. You know what makes it sad for our own in Nigeria is that you find people who are intelligent, who are willing to work, falling into crime because there's no option. There's that group of people. But there's also the group of people that are just greedy and materialistic. But there's a group of people that I just wanted to do better. I just wanted to earn something. I just wanted to, and this was the option available for me.
Unfortunately, that's all we can take on this segment. I mean, as I said, it's sad that we are constantly discussing
we have a guest?
ritualism,
Honestly.
kidnapping. It's really, really
like a movie.
pathetic. I just hope there'll be a time we come on this same show and these things would have been something of the past. I really hope so.
Every so
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.